When they came to office in May 2015, the coalition government promised to work to ensure that all Guyanese enjoy the good life. On Guyana 411 this week, we look at what is being done for public servants and the elderly. We now turn our attention to what the government plans to do to improve the quality of service provided by public servants.
The government is determined to create a reformed public sector which will cater to the needs of the Guyanese public without fear or favor, as the administration seeks to propel the President's vision for an efficient and improved public service.
We do not want a public service that is particularly aligned to a political party. We're looking for impartiality. We're asking you to provide a service to all Guyanese, because that is what you're there for. You're not there because you supported the APNU AFC. You're not there because you supported the PPP or anything like that. You are there because you are providing a public service to all Guyanese. And therefore, we are not making it a condition of employment, of promotion, or anything like that, that you be a member of any political party. We're not asking you to do that at all. In fact, we do believe that if any such preferences were to be exercised in the service which you deliver to Guyanese people, that will be a disincentive rather than incentive. So we're asking for professionalism. We're asking you to be impartial in the quality of service which you give to the Guyanese people.
Some of the issues which are currently affecting the effective functioning of the public service include low wages and salaries, inadequate training, and institutional deficiencies, all of which have resulted in poor delivery of services to the public. However, this will not be allowed to persist under the new administration, since the needs of the Guyanese people must be taken care of to provide a good life for all.
We envisage, therefore, a public service that is accessible, that is relevant, that is reliable, that is resourceful, and is responsive to the needs of the people of Guyana. That is equally effective in all regions of Guyana, on the coast and in the hinterland and in all communities. Sometimes when you look at the quality of service that you get from the public service in Georgetown, in Berbice, in Linden, Essequibo on the coast, it's a different quality of service that you get when you have to deal with our Amerindian brothers and sisters in the hinterland. We have a different kind of personality relationship with the people that we serve. And we need to ensure that the quality of service that we provide to the Guyanese people is equal throughout the length of it.
The new administration has high expectations of the public service sector, and as such, public servants must be able to meet these high standards being set, since the government wants a public service sector which is effective, responsive, and fair. It will begin the process of modernizing and transforming the sector to achieve these characteristics.
For this to be achieved, we must have a sort of a two-pronged approach. On the one hand, the use of new technologies will be employed, and the physical facilities for delivery will have to be improved. On the other hand, there must be a concerted effort to enhance the management capacity, administrative efficiency, and skills level of all public servants, from the lowest to the highest tier of the public service workforce.
The Public Service Staff College is one of the actively pursued projects of the new administration, in which public servants must ensure that the efforts of the college to train and orient new entrants into the public service must be complemented by their work in the administration of the service. This will largely determine the capacity and capability of the public service to carry out its mandate in an effective manner.
We will provide the tools to make you more efficient. We will provide the environment to make you more efficient. And we will provide the quality of remuneration to make you a more efficient public service.
The administration has since established a commission of inquiry with the aim of improving the conditions of service, training, remuneration, benefits, and other matters pertaining to the development of public servants to achieve its objective of a professional public service.
In addition to increasing salaries for public sector workers, the government has been looking into the conditions at workplaces. A countrywide campaign to inspect working environments of the public and private sectors was launched. The aim is to ensure workers' rights are protected and that working environments are fully compliant with the Occupational Health and Safety (OHS) regulations.
Inspections of workplaces were undertaken by a minister within the Ministry of Social Protection, Simona Brooms, who has the responsibility for labor. She, along with a team of industrial relations and occupational health and safety officers, visited workplaces in mining, sugar, bauxite, and commercial sectors. The visits unearthed some of the atrocious conditions under which our workers have been functioning for the past decade. Some workers were being paid less than the stipulated minimum wage, many received no overtime pay and were not granted vacation or sick leave. Too often, our workers were subject to poor sanitary and welfare facilities. The visit by the minister and her team produced significant success. To date, over $70 million have been paid out to workers, and working environments are more habitable.
Coming out from one of the presentation and training and negotiation that we had with a major company, when they stepped forward to make their payments, they did overpay by $1.8 million, in which immediately when I recognized that, called them in and to correct that. So I mentioned that because my role as the minister is to look at employer and employee. So the employer too also is pleased, because not only we will check to see that the worker received the right amount, but also that the company pay the right amount. Every company that I have inspected, however, workers have benefited. They were companies that were underpaying workers, and even if it was by $1, it added up. They were companies who was wrongfully deducting money from workers that they had to repay to the workers. There were companies that were not paying the workers their overtime and other benefits and had to do that. Millions of dollars workers have benefited from, because coming out from the inspection, the correction, and what we've noticed, workers benefited not only financially, but the conditions that they were working under. Definitely we had some major shift in that aspect. So I think that the inspection, I mean, it was hectic and, with all the challenges, but I think it really served both employees well so far in the country.
Workers and employers were educated on the rights of workers and the occupational health and safety. This allowed workers and employers to fully understand what the labor law stipulates.
The education that we've started, it's working well. Workers now understand their rights, and not only workers, it really worked well for the employers also, in terms of the training that was done. Lots of workers benefit, lots of employers also benefit from the new government approach, because they had the opportunity to correct and in terms of changes, and now we have companies and employers coming forward and want to do more for the next year, and we are collaborating in terms of how could we motivate the workers, and together how we will change as it relates to the labor aspect out there. So Guyanese can really look forward as long as I'm here. I am committed to serving the people of Guyana, and I will do so without fear and favor.
Some of the employees were given a period for correction, depending on the conditions, while those who had major breaches of the law were penalized. Fatalities at the workplaces were also dealt with.
We give us a period for correction. Some persons had a shorter period. That is depending on the condition and things that were happening in the country. So the first step that we did, and that is not to do with fatality, however, and accidents. Fatalities was definitely charges. There was not a fatality under this new government watch that we did not investigate and charge, and person went before the court and paid fine. We had families being compensated in terms of the negotiation. And so with fatalities and accidents, they're not any, we can't negotiate those. In terms of corrections with the, and payments, those were must. So what they were given an opportunity to really correct, and that was our first approach as government, to have them to correct and better conditions and to educate both employee, and we have been doing that and making some excellent achievements in those areas. So that was the approach generally. One, failure to comply, that is when we had to go before the court. But most of them, like I mentioned, they did comply and start their corrections.
Government has made it clear that it will not tolerate any organization or group of persons, be it in the private or public sector, who violates the rights of workers.
Over the past 6 months, senior citizens of Guyana have seen their lot improved. Their monthly pension was increased, and they have better accommodation at the post offices where they collect their pensions. The quality of care at homes for the elderly is also being improved.
Senior citizens are now enjoying an increase in their pension. They also enjoy better accommodation at the post offices where they uplift their pensions. In addition to that, they also may have snacks provided while they wait to receive their monthly pension. This is just a start. The government has given its commitment to do more to improve the lives of elderly citizens.
Things may seem to move slower than we intended, and that's because our present resources cannot provide greater increases in pensions and other benefits. But be assured, you are our top priority. And we are working to ensure that substantial increases are provided. The government recognizes that the needs of our senior citizens must be urgently addressed, and to this end is making provision for better housing, pension, and health care. I assure you, we will pay greater attention to curbing abuse of the elderly and violation of your rights, including squandering of your assets.
Recently, First Lady Ms. Sandra Granger was involved in the Care for the Elderly program. This program was aimed at ensuring that those who attend to the needs of senior citizens are well equipped and carry out their duties in a professional manner. In addition, there have been a number of upgrades of elderly facilities. One such is Uncle Eddie's Home for the Elderly. It was announced by Minister of State Joseph Harmon that the government had given its approval for the home to receive the title for the land on which it is located. This would help facilitate the further development of the home, as a title document can be used as a collateral. To improve the care offered, medical teams visit the homes of the elderly. One such was by a team of dentists to the Uncle Eddie's home.
I assure you that the Ministry of Public Health will continue to work towards increasing access to dental health services and raise greater awareness of proper oral hygiene. We will vow to expand our medical outreach program, as I said before, and hence making special and frequent visits to homes like Uncle Eddie's homes, for instance. I'm sure every one of you will be pleased with the service rendered today, and again, I applaud the efforts of the Dental Center.
Elderly citizens have already given years of service to this country. Now, this country must take care of its elderly.
And that brings us to the end of Guyana 411 for this week, where we took a look at what the government has been doing to improve conditions for public servants and the elderly. If you missed any of our programs, you can access them from our website. They're also available on Facebook and on YouTube. Goodbye now.